Peace and blessings, family. I'm your brother, Minister Alif. Today, family, I want to touch on war and insider trading. You notice that the symbol of Wall Street is a bull or bullish market. And in the Bible, it teaches us that when the people disobeyed God, what was it that they did? They formed a golden calf. They worshiped a golden calf. In modern day times, we call it a cash cow. Insider trading occurs when someone buys or even sells stocks using non-public material information that could affect a company's overall stock. For example, let's look at a hypothetical. Imagine for a moment. Anyone that knows a war will begin tomorrow can buy defense stocks today before the market reacts in the future. Think that over. See, we keep going for all these con games, all this trickology. You see the power of trickology. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us in the Table Talks in 1972. It's like, he gives us an example. It's like a magician. If the magician comes out on stage, and the magician pulls a glass of water out of a seemingly empty black hat, the audience is going to applaud. See, when he be like, abracadabra, da-da, the people like, oh man, you see that? He just pulled the glass of water from nowhere. You see? Now, common sense would tell you that you can't get something from nothing. That defies logic and mathematics, you see? But why are the people clapping? Who are the people that's applauding this trickology? They are whites, blacks, young, old, educated, uneducated, rich, poor people. They all spontaneously applaud the tricks of the magician. Now, if you come in and try to tell them, that glass of water could not have came from a seemingly empty hat, because we know that water comes from some raindrop, from some ecosystem, from some lake, river, or stream. Water is a mathematical attraction between hydrogen and oxygen, H2O. Water comes as a liquid. It could come as solid ice. You can boil it and turn it into a steam. But we know that water does not come from seemingly empty hats. The people ain't trying to hear that. The masses, the 85%, the mentally deads, they ain't trying to listen to you. They going to applaud the 10%. Who are the 10%? The 10% are the rich, the slave makers of the poor, who teach the poor lies to believe that the almighty, true, and living God is a spook. So it's nothing for a 10%er to deceive the masses or the 85% and make them think that this water came out of the seemingly empty hat. And when the 5%, the poor righteous teachers come trying to teach them the arts and sciences of the universe, trying to teach them natural law and universal mathematics, they not trying to hear none of that. They rather hear that fancy illusion, the delusion of the 10%. The rich, the slave makers of the poor. So these 10%, it's difficult to show and prove insider trading. But let's look at history for a moment. This is what we know. This is what the experts already found out. The expert investigators found out that before the 9/11 attacks, there was something called put options, meaning that some people knew that something was going to happen on 9/11. So the stock market literally changed. People knew that there wasn't going to be no airplanes flying in the sky in the next few days. So they got rich off of that. They got paid off of that. You see? They also got paid in 2003 before the Iraq war with Saddam Hussein. All of a sudden, defense stocks rose sharply. People got rich off of Saddam Hussein being attacked and killed, you see, because they had what's known as insider trading. You see? Now, this insider trading, where's all this money at? If it's like, okay, I'll leave. If it's insider trade, where's the money? That's the trick. The trick to the knowledge is they know how to hide the money through hedge funds and offshore accounts. They 10%, they rich. See, they laugh all the way to their own banks. We, the masses, the poor, we the ones that's getting duped. You see? So yesterday, went to the gas station, and what happened? Gas prices rose. Gas prices went up 9 cents in 24 hours. Now imagine for a moment here, imagine you knew that the United States and Israel was going to attack Iran the day before they attacked. Oh my goodness. Or should I say, oh my badness. You're going to get rich off this attack. You see? How you going to get rich? Because anyone that knows a war will begin tomorrow can buy defense stocks today before the market reacts to the attack. You see? The very moment an attack happens, the stocks react, especially stocks like oil and gas, defense contractors. These are the people that make missiles and other weapons. They make helmets and boots. They know that stuff is great. Go off the charts. Bulletproof vests. I mean, they understand cybersecurity firms, steel, raw earth material corporation. Any company like that, you better put your money in it. You can get paid. You see, who might have such early information? Government officials, military leadership, of course, intelligence agencies, of course, politicians that sit in on classified debriefings. They all know that there's going to be attack in the future. And they can literally take that money and put it over here in various stocks, and they can laugh all the way to the bank, family. You see? And we don't understand the con game that's taking place on us in this day and time. Now, I mean, the Bible teaches us those who wage war against you will be as nothing at all. Isaiah chapter 41, verses 12 and 13. So I want you to understand this is how the hustle works. You can't hate the player, hate the game. We the ones that keep going for this okie doke. I mean, this is not new. This is the trickology that has been used for over 6,000 years by warmongers. It's money in this stuff. All you got to do is follow that paper. You see, the Bible teaches us what? That a love of money is a root of all evil, family. And most people just love money. You know what I'm saying? Money is not a sin. You know, we live in a capitalist, imperialist world. You want to be able to exist in this world. I mean, not that we physically need money, but right now we're living in a world, in a system where we're dependent on gold and oil and cash and stocks and real estate and utilities and things of that nature there. So you don't want to trick yourself and become homeless. You don't want your family to starve. You don't want to be out cold in the snow, in the elements. You don't want your baby in a thunderstorm or a hurricane or a tornado. You want your people to be safe. You want your people to have peace of mind and contentment, money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life. But you don't want it at the expense of others. You don't want it at the expense of destroying other civilizations, destroying habitats, wanting to pollute the planet Earth. That's when we get greedy, you see. That's when we become gluttonous, you see. That's when we're overdoing it. You know, it's like a man going to a buffet table during the Eid feast after Ramadan. You know what I mean? And he want to eat a rack of lamb. He want to eat some baked chicken. He want to eat some fish. He want a big bowl of brown rice. He wants some bean soup. He wants some fruit salad. He want a bean pie. He wants some Akbar juice. He wants some tea. And you eat all that stuff, and you get diarrhea because it's contrary to your nature to be greedy. The body temple be like, yo, man, we need food and nutrients and minerals, but you overdoing it. And this is the problem that we have in the wicked wilderness of North America. We overdo things. Now, I mean, we get carried away. Now, I mean, the message said the opportunity is just too open. This human nature, greed it's like, we just get addicted to the oil. I mean, and wherever you go on this planet and you see all this stuff, you be like, oh, the United States, they bombed Venezuela. This is like, no, Venezuela is rich in oil. Oh, the United States, they attacked Iraq. No, Iraq is rich in oil. Oh, they attacked Libya. No, Libya is rich in oil. No, they bombed they going to invade Nigeria to help the country. No, Nigeria is rich in oil. Oh, they attacked Libya. No, Libya is the third richest oil producer on the face of the planet Earth. Oh, the United States is making alliances with Saudi Arabia. No, Saudi Arabia has the oil. Get out of that stuff, family. This is all about insider trading. It's sad that the world is being deceived and we keep going for the open door. Let us wake up. Let us unite. Let us do for self. For now, the struggle continues. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to the gods. Peace to the goddesses.